everyone, and welcome to VORTEX Vibes, the show that clarifies your security needs. We help you understand our AI-powered operations automation platform. This is our 6th episode, and we are really focusing on something that I think is so important in the world of security, and that is network speaker scenarios. We often think about security, we think about the cameras rolling, we think about the footage that we are capturing, but a system that only has eyes isn't really able to truly interact with what it's seeing.
Right.
And that's where audio comes in.
I think you are spot on. Visual data gives you that what and when, but with audio, it adds this whole other layer. You can intervene.
Absolutely. So today we're going over the top 5 reasons to install network speakers with your surveillance system. We're going to explore how you can go from just watching what happens to actually having a system that's more proactive. And it can even make your operations smoother. We are going to be looking at real-world examples of this and how the VORTEX platform can help you get there.
We are talking about targeted audio that is intelligent. It is informed by a system like VORTEX. So think of VORTEX as the brain analyzing all the video feeds, and it can automatically do things like trigger those speaker warnings so you don't have to.
Let's just jump into the first reason why you might want to consider this type of technology. Instant security warnings. What do these warnings mean?
The big thing here is the immediacy, the speed of response. When VORTEX detects a security event, because it's got those intelligent video analytics, it can instantly use a network speaker and broadcast a warning. Someone's hopping a fence, they immediately get told, hey, we see you.
I know these capabilities go hand in hand with all those smart detection features that are built into VORTEX, right? Mm-hmm. Things like intrusion detection, loitering detection, these all can work as triggers.
Yeah, and VORTEX is using really sophisticated algorithms that can tell the difference between someone just walking by and someone who's actually up to no good. So you're not going to be bombarded with false alarms, which happens with simpler, motion detection systems. VORTEX is actually looking at shapes and patterns and comparing them to what it already knows to be either a human or a vehicle, and that really helps reduce those false alarms.
Okay, so can we actually get a clear picture of how this would work in a real-world scenario?
Imagine a car parking in a lot that's private property, and they're not supposed to be there. So VORTEX sees this, and the system picks up that the car has been there too long. Then a message plays through a network speaker. Something simple like, please move your vehicle immediately. This can be so helpful, especially when security might not be right there to notice the issue.
That's such a great example of how instead of just recording something, you can actually start addressing an issue in real time. Okay, reason number 2, proactive crime prevention. How do network speakers actually act as a deterrent?
Security is all about preventing something from happening in the first place, right? While visible security cameras can deter crime, adding sound boosts that deterrent effect. Imagine VORTEX sees someone lurking outside a house late at night. The speaker can give a warning.
Do we have an example of what that message might sound like?
It could say something like, you are entering a restricted area. This area is under surveillance and being recorded. Please leave immediately. That kind of message in real time is going to be a huge deterrent. Think of it as having a virtual security presence that is always watching.
I love that. A virtual security presence that is always watching. So smart. Okay, now our third reason kind of changes gears a bit, but it's equally as important. Seamless integration with business operations. This is where I think things get really exciting because it shows that these network speakers can be more than just a security tool. They can actually help your business run more smoothly.
Yeah, and it begs the question, how can we leverage security infrastructure to create more value for businesses? And that's exactly what VORTEX can do when you add in these network speakers. It can streamline processes. We are seeing amazing results in the area of parking management in particular.
Okay, I want to hear more about the EV charging station integration because that sounds really promising.
So picture this. An EV pulls into a charging spot. The VORTEX system, using something like our MS930 EHV camera, can see this. And then a network speaker plays a message that welcomes the driver. Now, where it gets smart is that if the car stays parked there, but it's not actually charging, VORTEX can trigger a reminder for the driver to free up that space so someone else can use it.
So this is really about making sure that those charging stations are being used as intended, and you're not having to constantly monitor those spots manually.
Exactly. And the same idea can be applied to so many other situations. We're also seeing some really creative uses in retail settings.
How so? How are network speakers being used in retail? I'm curious.
Let's say a customer is in the camera aisle. VORTEX sees this, and it can trigger a nearby speaker to play a message about special promotions on accessories or complementary products.
So it becomes this very subtle way of adding to the customer experience. It could even lead to increased sales just by offering those timely reminders about those relevant add-ons.
That's the idea. It's like having a little helper in each aisle. And, customers appreciate those little nudges sometimes.
Okay, our fourth reason is all about the bottom line, which I think is super important for businesses of all sizes. And that's cost-effective security enhancement. So how exactly do these automated network speaker systems help businesses save money?
You hit the nail on the head. It's all about automation, right? When you can automate routine tasks, you don't need as many security personnel. Imagine a huge industrial site. Usually you would have guards patrolling, constantly giving warnings to people who are in restricted areas. But Vortex, with its network speakers, can issue those warnings automatically the second an intrusion is detected.
That makes sense. So you're freeing up those security guards so they can focus on the things that really need a human touch.
Absolutely. You are making the best use of your resources. The automated system handles the basic stuff, and your security team is free to focus on higher-level tasks. And over time, that translates to some serious cost savings.
And last but certainly not least, reason number 5, real-time emergency broadcasts and incident management. I mean, this has to be one of the most important uses for network speakers, especially during those critical moments when every second counts.
Couldn't agree more. During an emergency, whether it's a fire, a storm, a security threat, you need to get information out fast, right? And network speakers can do just that. They can broadcast those clear, concise instructions, tell people where to go, what to do, and all of that can be zone-specific or building-wide.
I know Vortex is actually adding a really important new feature in this area as well, right?
Yes, we are thrilled about the talk-down functionality that will be released in the second quarter of 2025. It lets security personnel directly intervene in an emergency as it's unfolding. So you could have a pre-recorded evacuation message, and then security can chime in live and give specific instructions, use the east exit, something like that.
Wow. It's like having that human element still there, even when you're relying on the technology to get the initial message out.
Right, and think about the post-incident analysis. You have the recordings from the cameras and the audio from the speakers, including any live instructions given. You can then really see what happened, how everyone responded. It's valuable information for planning and training.
Absolutely. And just a reminder to everyone, Vortex works with VOTEX on-premise network speakers. So it's all one seamless system. You can even upload your own audio files. So it's very customizable.
Very much so. Easy to set up, manage remotely. It's all driven by Vortex's powerful video content analytics. Plus, users can easily manage audio files and broadcast triggers within Vortex using the alarm settings. It gives you complete control.
Speaking of real-world applications, didn't we have a really interesting case study with an organization in California? Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, this organization based in Taiwan had a facility in California. They were having a couple of problems. First, they needed to deter people from loitering near the entrances at night, so they installed Vortex with network speakers. Whenever loitering was detected, and they used a variety of VivoTech cameras, including the FE931 EHV, FT837-HTV, and IB837-HTV, a pre-recorded message would play through the speaker telling people to move along. It worked like a charm. The second issue was that they needed to be able to quickly check footage of anyone who went up to the roof. Vortex made it super easy to find that footage. It saved them so much time.
That's fantastic. It shows how this type of system can solve multiple problems. So simple, so effective. Okay, so tell us a little bit about the VCA, the video content analytics in Vortex. What kind of events can trigger these speaker alerts?
Right now, you can set it up so that line crossing triggers an alert, and then you have intrusion detection and loitering. It's really versatile.
And the great thing about Vortex is that it's constantly evolving. What's on the horizon in terms of new features?
Well, we're always working on new things. Parking space occupancy detection is in the works, and then there's crowd gathering detection, which would be huge for safety and managing crowds. So yeah, lots of exciting things are coming.
All of this is just so powerful because the messages play automatically. You don't have to be sitting there monitoring the system constantly. The system is doing the work for you.
Exactly. The response is immediate, and that's what makes it so effective as a deterrent. It's all about having that consistent, reliable security presence 24/7.
So to sum it all up, when you combine network speakers with the power of Vortex, you're not just watching anymore. You're participating, you're intervening, and you're creating a system that is far more proactive and intelligent.
Exactly. And that makes everything so much more efficient, more secure, and honestly, it gives you peace of mind knowing that the system is constantly working for you in the background.
It's the future of security, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're leveraging AI, you're responding faster, you're taking so much of that burden of manual monitoring away, and it's adaptable. You can use this in all sorts of environments. Critical infrastructure, retail, smart cities. I mean, the list goes on and on.
It truly is a game changer for so many different industries and organizations, especially when you consider how cost-effective it can be to implement these types of solutions.
So if you're ready to explore how Vortex and network speakers can benefit your organization, we encourage you to visit our website to learn more and schedule a demo. And Vivotech has 2 great models to choose from. The AU003, which is perfect for outdoor use, and the AU004, which is ideal for indoors.
Both are designed to integrate seamlessly with the VORTEX platform for easy setup and management.
Okay, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a little something to think about. As you go about your day, just imagine those areas where an audio alert could be beneficial. How could you use this technology to create a safer and more efficient environment for your employees, your customers, or maybe even in your own home? It's something to think about.
It is. Security is evolving, and this type of proactive approach is the way of the future.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. We'll see you next time on Vivotech Vortex Vibes.
See you then. Thanks for tuning in.